Hello, everyone. How are you doing today, my young women, my young men? Today, we're going to talk about how do you love people who've been unlovable to you, right? Here we go again. You know what? In this world, we're going to live with people who are unlovable to us all of the time. In our workspace, you can't run from people. You can't and there's always an issue when it comes to human beings, right? You could be the nicest person to them and they're going to turn around and do something to you, right? And one of the worst things is when you have your best friend, the person you thought was your ride and die buddy, and they turn around and they stab you in the back and you're wondering, wait a minute, what's going on? Especially during your teenage years when the chemicals in your body, I got to tell you, teenagers, a lot of that's why you at that age I would not recommend you make any serious decisions because the chemicals in your body are from the age of 13 to 21 and even probably past that. For some, the chemicals in your body are going wild, they're going crazy, and it's normal for them to go crazy because it's part of your growing process. That's how we were created. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you when you get moody, or absolutely nothing wrong with you when you have these outbursts, or you want certain things like to be treated fairly. But I know most of the time, this is a time period in life, in our lives, that we start discovering ourselves, and then we start discovering that we don't like certain people, right? Because and as teenagers, one thing that I love about our teenagers is that you keep it real, right? You just keep it real. But you have to be careful not to keep it so real that that emotion is now in your heart, it's harboring in your heart, and here it is that you can't actually function to your maximum capacity because you have some drama with someone that you are holding so much onto that sometimes it becomes physical, sometimes it becomes a fight. It absolutely, when you're at that age, right, when that's what's around you, you're going to find that to be normal, right? To you, that's normal. To you, to respond that way is normal. But when you get out of that place, that your environment, and you're into another environment, you start seeing that people are different. And this is why we have to learn how to love the unlovable, because we're not always going to be in our little bubble. Like, if whatever state you're from, whatever city you're from, you're not going to be in that city forever. And if you stay in that city forever, something is wrong. You're going to have to learn to deal with people from other cultures, other countries, right? And even with our own demons, even our own family members, where there is there is a pattern to life. And this is why I want to talk to you about this, because there is a pattern to life that sets itself into this motion that the minute you start harboring resentment, the minute even though the resentment that you're harboring, there's some truth to it, because this person actually did do something wrong to you. But now, the fact that they did something wrong to you, you have to know that the whole mechanism, the way that the world has been set up, you have to find a way to react to that. Where yes, you can be angry and you can let them know, okay, look, I don't like the way that what you did, or whichever. But you have to understand that as you're going in your anger, you cannot sin. You cannot hold them back and even hold yourself back, because part of that anger is revenge. Because they hurt you, you want to hurt them back. And that's it. That's what you just want, justice. And part of justice to you is to hurt them back because they caused you pain. And a lot of times it's not even that. A lot of times you find people, they lie, right? The young women or young men, they just lie. And in these day and times that we're living in, we find a lot more young women who basically are selling themselves because they're lying or they're doing certain things so that they can get money from boys. They can get brand purses, or brand name things, these young men to buy things for them. And these young men, they basically decide, well, you know what, we're going to abandon our education because you know what, it's too rough out here. So we're going to go out and we're going to become pharmaceuticals, if you know what I mean. And we're just going to make money fast, regardless of what it costs, you know. And I know I'm not in your situation, but I've taught in areas there, and I know what it's like to be poor, right? I know what it's like to not know where the next meal is coming. So I understand psychologically what can cause somebody to do something like that, because you're getting quick money, and you, when your stomach is growling, okay, or you're getting some kind of a negative whatever abuse, you're gonna do whatever you need to do to get out. That's called survival. But in the midst of this survival, you have to be realistic with what's happening to your energy, what's happening to you spiritually speaking. You don't want to set a pattern in life that you're just going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Take a look at the cycles that you're repeating yourself in your life. Look at your family members. See if they themselves have this cycle that they're repeating. And if the answer is yes, then you've got to really sit down and understand that most situations, most people are not going to be lovable the way that we want them to be lovable. People are going through their own problems. Half of the time, things that are going on with other people who may do something to hurt you is because they themselves, that's how they're living. They're living in pain. They're living with pain. So they are regurgitating back pain. They're living in, their world is personally deceit, lies. So now they're doing it. That's who they are. The world, the mind, right? They've been around it so much, or they've learned the pattern from watching their mothers, their aunts, their fathers, whoever in the family, cousin. And to them, that's what was fed to them. So that's what they're giving back. That's why they'll look at you and act like they didn't do anything to you, because in their heads, they didn't do anything to you. But now, here's where you counteract the whole thing. It's not going to happen overnight. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, well, um, it's not your right to be angry. No, I'm saying to you, you have the right to be angry, but you have to learn how to choose your friends. And when you learn how to choose your friends or the people who are going to be around you, sometimes there are people going to come around you that you've not chosen. But most of the time, you'll find that the people who give you the hardest time are the ones who have a key to an answer to your future. And the reason why they're giving you a hard time is that you're being tested. Something in you needs to grow so that you can now become a better you and love an unlovable person. Because in life, Jay Shetty said this, many people said it. Um, each person that comes to your life, they have their own purpose. And you have to be, as young people, you're growing. You can start really focusing on how your life, what's going to happen in your life by really um, implementing what I'm about to share. Know what it is that this person has brought into your life and what space they are to occupy. Not everybody is going to be that buddy buddy or that best friend, or even if they act like they're the best friend, believe me, you have gotten red flags to tell you, nope, that's not best friend quality. Okay. The best way for you to love an unlovable person, and the reason there are no such thing as people being unlovable, is just you guarding yourself. And basically, what they've done has caused you pain, and their character in itself is the kind of character that contradicts your character. And so you decide you're not going to give them love, right? Because their character kind of rubs you the wrong way. They've done things to you the wrong way. But let me ask you a question in all sincerity. Besides their character, because that's not who they truly are, If they were to know better, do you think they would do this, what they've done to hurt you, what they've done to cause you harm? And the reason why you have to be careful not to react to them in an unloving way is because once we start reacting in an unloving way, we start attaching people in our heads, in our minds, because our heart, even in our back, all these, like the spinal cord, all of these parts of your body, believe you me, has an interaction with negativity or positivity or whatever. So these parts start remembering, wait, this person hurt me. I don't like this person. So you start replaying the instant over and over and over and over, even though you don't want to. And then now your body starts feeding on it and it becomes a mental lifestyle for you. So what starts happening to you? Things that you should be thinking about that can help you be better in your life, that can help bring solutions in your life. You're not thinking about those things. Now this person has taken real estate in your head, in the back of your mind. This person now lives in you. How do you love? And this is how you love an unlovable person. Let them be who they are. Don't turn them into someone you want them to be. And give them boundaries. But mainly have compassion. Compassion is basically understanding that this person has no understanding of better. They don't understand you. So allow them to be who they are and stop putting expectations on them that they are not able to fulfill. See them for who they truly are so that they don't surprise you. Once, believe you me, and the reason I'm saying that is because no one really surprises anybody. There's something inside of you called your intuition, your instinct, and young people at your age, you have that. Follow it. And understand that it's not everything that you're supposed to react to because we're human beings. We're thinking beings. We're not animals. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you have that rage and you just want to fight and beat someone, that's not your right to physically put your hands on someone. Nor is it anyone's right to basically put their hands on you. But if you get to that state, you really have to be very careful because now every single organ in your body, and spiritually speaking, other things have been um, ignited. And now you're really causing physical harm on someone else, or they're causing physical harm on you. And believe you me, you will reap what you sow, regardless of if you were right or wrong. There are certain laws in this universe that God has set up that you cannot break, regardless of if you repent or not. You will have to go through the situation that you created when you acted the way that you were not supposed to act. These are some of the things that they've not said to you as you're growing up because no one said it to them. So that's why you have a crazy cycle. So unlovable people, what people we call unlovable people, challenge people who challenge us, right? Um, to become, to know how to love. You know, I read in Jay Shetty's book, um, The Four Rules of Love, and he said something about someone where he says that you taught me um, how to truly love, right? And unlovable people, I'm not saying the person he's talking about it was unlovable, but I'm saying that's one thing unlovable people will do is they will teach you how to truly love. They will make you face yourself and see what you're not and what you should be. So welcome unlovable people in your life because they're just going to bring out the best in you, and you've got to just really surrender and do not and resist. You know, say resist the devil and he will flee. Sometimes people were brought into your life not to resist but to grow. So just like certain people come into your life to teach you how to love. They'll give you hell and back, but that's going to teach you how to love because love is patient, love is kind, love is humble, it's not easily angered, it endures the test. And because of that, it's the most excellent way because you will win that person over. Not only will you win that person over, you yourself will ascend to another level where your blessings are going to become way more than you ever expected. So, my friends, I hope I made it clear about loving unlovable people. Have a great day.